Don't blink, it is your boy Ink, and I am trembling from excitation because this is one of the best videos I'm gonna make. But one of the subject that I had no clue before today, but I am gonna be what a fucking movie. Before we even start with the movie, right? I try to do 2 movies a day. When I watched the first movie, and that first movie was really, really, really bad. And I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have 2 bad movies because if I have 2 movies, the reason why we're doing 2 movies, first of all, is if one of them is less good, I can focus on the one. So every single day you have movie content, you have a video about a good movie or a video about 2 good movies. The first movie we saw, we didn't even do a video because it was that bad. Then I took a gamble and a movie. And for a lot of movie, this is a movie to rule every movie. For a lot of people, this movie is a movie to rule them all. For a lot of people, this is a cult classic. For a lot of people, this is a way of life. For a lot of people, this is a masterpiece. Now, me saying that implies that you didn't read the title, or if you didn't check the thumbnails. If you did any of those 2, you know we're talking about Dead Poets Society. So before we even start with the masterpiece that is Dead Poets Society, I'm going to talk about my experience with Dead Poets Society. I was always told, hey, this is a good movie. I was watching a lot of How I Met Your Mother. One of my favorite episodes is when they say, hi, hey, Captain, my Captain, which is something I adore. Then it was Dead Poet Society romance reference. I had this girl that I really cared about, and she was a fan of that movie. But back in those days, I was an asshole that didn't care about what she liked. I cared about the idea of her, and she liked that movie. Don't care. I'm gonna watch my movies, and yeah, just along. I didn't care, which actually makes me an asshole. Okay. And then I kept on hearing about it. But then over the years, it stopped. And then I had the chance to watch it tonight. I was like, holy shit, Dead Poet Society. Dead Poet Society. And you watch it. Now, I'll be completely honest. Was the movie great? Absolutely. But the movie, the movie, I love Dead Poet Society. But if you ask me my favorite movie, I got 2. V for Vendetta, which was very crucial in my growth as a person, as a content creator. There's a reason why it's in Vendetta, right? There's a reason. And if you ask me for my favorite movie of all time, I'm gonna have to go with Fight Club. Fight Club is my favorite movie. It's one of the best movies ever made. So so both of them are kind of anarchists. Both of them are like we're going against the regiment, the society. So for V for Vendetta, it's very socialist. It's a very yeah, not socialist, sorry, it's you're going one way, right? It's like almost a dictatorship without being a dictatorship. If you go with if you go with Fight Club, it is the reform of normalcy. So basically, even in normal life is something that makes you die, right? That brings us to death, not death physically, not death emotionally, but a slow death. So you think the beginning of the movie, you have a normal life, and you realize that you're not truly living, you're surviving. So Fight Club is about that. Now you have Dead Poet Society, and Dead Poet Society. I'm just gonna talk about that. The Dead Poet, right? Is exactly this. The Dead Poet Society is a movie on a school. And a school is very dictatorship. It's very very strict, very forward. There's physical punishment. Before we even start, the movie was made in 1986. What is really cool about that movie is, of course, Sir Williams. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you don't deserve to know what I'm talking about. There's a young Ethan Hawke. Yeah, yeah. It's crazy. There's a bunch of actors that you see them young. And it's crazy. Dead Poet Society is a teacher, right? And he has this secret club, and there's the Dead Poet Society. And listen, I was born in the 90s, so it kind of reminded me of the Albus Army, Dumbledore Army, something like that, and Harry Potter. It's a secret club talking about poet. Now, I know what you're saying. Poet doesn't seem like a rebellion. And that's why I'm aiming more towards Fight Club and V for Vendetta. It's a rebellion, but the the simi, the somewhat kind of the copy of the revolution is they're so put their life is decided in front of them. There's a lot of those characters that um this is one character that I'm talking about in particular. I'm not gonna spoil the movie because it's a great movie. There's a particular character and he wants to be an actor. His father's like, no. There's a particular character that he doesn't know what he wants to do, but his parents are pushing him in his direction. Right? And the craziest thing is the movie how it's made, and it's beautiful. So the movie how it's made and how beautiful it is you meet his character, right? Played by Robin Williams. And he says something, which is carpe diem, seize the day. And people make fun of him because he's a bit out there. He's a bit of a poet. He's a bit of an artist. And once again, in a school that is very strict and very moving ahead. There's no place for imagination. You're gonna think what we're telling you to think. And yet this character who is a bit out there, right? And they kind of make fun of him. However, they find some of his book, and they find a book called Dead Poet Society. And that book is about poem. So they meet, and at first it is to laugh at him. It is to laugh at him. And then they realize that poem were more than just poem. It was people that beat the dictatorship. It was people who, no matter what, gave themselves an artistic out. There's this character who constantly defies authority. And he's the first one to believe, he's the first one to understand that Poet Society. See, that Poet Society is not about poems. It's about a way of life. It's about being yourself. No matter if it's through a poem, no matter if it's through romance. And the really cool thing is there's three characters, really, really big characters. There's one lesser one. One of them wants to be an actor, wants to have a different path, wants to be choosing his own path. One of them wants this girl. Right? And they're being told, no, you're not going to do this. The actor's going to say, no, you're not going to be an actor. You're going to be something serious. I don't care what you are, but you're going to be something serious. The other one is, you're going to do what we tell you to do. You're going to shut the fuck up, right? And the last one is like, no, I cannot date this girl because she has a boyfriend. But the boyfriend, she doesn't like him. The boyfriend is abusive. There's a chance of a girl, she has a boyfriend, but she doesn't love him. You both love each other. See? Then you realize just how crazy that Poet Society is. So I was talking about this today. I was talking about this yesterday. The goal of the channel, right? The goal of the channel, which is the aim of the channel, is growth, right? And I was talking about how I had emotional growth. I have a personality growth, right? Because I was able to get out of my shell, right? And the last one is a financial growth. And you look at those three, right? There's one that is the emotion growth because he's in love. There's one that is a personal growth because he wants to do what he wants. One is financial growth. And financial growth is the actor. And like, why is the financial growth? Because he doesn't care about making money. He cares about doing what he wants, no matter how broke he is. The Poet Society is a way of life. Again, not by the poem. See, the movie is so complicated, but so complex. The movie sells itself as being a secret club. The Poet Society is how there's no more poets in a secret club, right? And a secret club is where members be themselves. That is kind of cool. That is really cool. Really, really cool. That's not it. It's not about the poem. You think about the poem, but the poem are just a way of men expressing themselves. Because again, it's a boys' school. And they're being told not to act that way, not to act this way, act this way. And the poets are like, no, I'm going to be who I want. I don't care who he is. The guy who changed his name. Is the name really important? Or is it just, again, to become somebody new? And to become something new? And when I made this channel, right, I had a shit life. I was getting bullied at work. I had a really, really shit life. I didn't want to be Stefan anymore. I wanted to be Ink Vendetta. Dead Poet Society, that's exactly what's happened. The guy changed his name. Now, I'm not saying that the movie is about me. I'm not saying I relate to the movie, this is my story. I'm not saying this at all. But I'm saying that if I'm going through that, there's other people. And then the characters of Robin Williams, possibly the most important characters of them all. Captain, oh my captain. Why was Robin Williams so important? Because he was part of a club? No. Because he wrote poem? No. Why was he so important? I'm getting emotional because it's a beautiful story. Why was he so important? Because Robin Williams was the only teacher, the only person in the whole school. Now remember, the whole movie is about students. He's the only teacher that is helping these boys grow. And you realize the other teachers were making those guys grow, but they didn't give them liberty. There you go. That's the beauty of Dead Poet Society. What a movie.